In this video I'm going to show you how easy it is to create responsive e-learning using Google Forms. By responsive e-learning I mean branched learning experiences or scenarios that can be used for students with Google Forms, and you don't need to know any fancy programming. You just need to have access to Google Apps for Education or Google Drive and have some familiarity with creating a form. So what is a branched e-learning experience or a branched scenario? Basically, it's an e-learning experience or a learning experience that changes based on the student's input and their need. Let's look at the 3 C's of branched scenarios. These are challenge, choices, and consequences. So what happens is the student is presented with a challenge or a question. They are then provided with choices to make, and based on those choices, different consequences result. So those consequences could be another question, they could be a video, a picture, text information. So there are a number of different things that those consequences can be. One branch question can lead to another, or even back again to check to see if there's been a change in understanding. And Google Forms lets you test the skills knowledge using text, videos and images to develop skills and knowledge as you need it depending on student responses. So what are some of the advantages of using Google Forms? Well, first of all, it's free and it's included in Google Apps for Education. It's quick and easy to learn if you already are familiar with Google Drive and the Google Apps for Education environment. Once you create your form, you can use it many times in many different environments and classes. Another advantage is that you can capture real-time information on how students are doing and how they are improving. This is particularly powerful if you are using Google Apps for Education and the students log in to use the form, so you know exactly what students are answering and how they're going. It also makes it possible to differentiate on the fly. Because you're getting information about how students are doing in real time, you can spend more time with students who need it, and you can give opportunities to students to challenge themselves for ones that are more advanced in their skills and knowledge on a particular topic area. Of course, that means you do have to be prepared. And also, Google Forms is cross-platform compatible, so usually you won't have any problems if you're using it on Windows, Apple platforms, iOS, Android, smartphones. Most of the time you'll get similar results in how it looks and acts. So what do you need to do before you go ahead and create your branch scenario in Google Forms? Well, first of all, you need to determine, of course, what you want students to know or what you want them to be able to do. From there, you plan your questions and your branching. It could be really short and simple, or it could be quite complex and go to different branches. And then, of course, you need to put together your media and content that's going to help students develop their skills and knowledge. The great thing is you can use YouTube videos that are already out there rather than having to create your own from scratch. So I'm going to demonstrate a really simple example of creating a branched scenario to test for knowledge of Pythagoras' theorem. So with our particular scenario here, the correct response will just give the student feedback and an end to the experience. And if they've given an incorrect response, it'll show the students a video to hopefully revise Pythagoras' theorem and then retest again to see how their knowledge is. In the real world, I'd probably branch off to actual examples to see how they're applying things. So now we're going to look at how we might create a simple branching scenario. So I've created my form in Google Drive, and it's called Pythagoras Theorem Review, and it's automatically created the first question. If I wanted to, I can write in a form description which might give instructions as to what to do, but right now I'm just concentrating on demonstrating how the branching might work and how you would enter in the content. So before I put in my question, I'm going to bring in an image that I've created in Google Drive. So I click on the drop down arrow next to add item and I select image. Now it's automatically gone to my Google Drive because I'd looked something up previously, so I'll click on that and press select, and you'll see it'll bring in my image. Now that's quite large, so just like anything else, you can click on it and resize as you typically would in most applications in Google Drive. And I can choose to have that left aligned, center aligned or right aligned, but I'll just leave it left aligned. So I am going to give my image a title, so right angled triangle, and I'll just copy and paste that as my hover text and click on done. Now I actually want the picture of the right angle triangle to appear before this first question that I haven't created yet. So I'm going to click and drag and drop till it's above that question. So you'll see now that my right angle triangle is above that untitled question. Now for the question. Okay, so I've finished entering in the question now. I have put in some help text which is indicating to enter only one correct answer. I've left it as a multiple choice type question, and I have 3 different answers. So a squared plus c squared equals b squared, a squared minus b squared equals c squared, and a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So the correct answer is the third one here. So now that I've created my question, before I can set up which pages the students go to in the question, I need to actually create those pages. So I've created my question, and before I can go and tick go to page based on answer, I need to create the pages. So I'll scroll to the bottom, and we'll have a look at this add item. I click on add item and I will put in a page break. So this page is going to be my review page for incorrect answers, to give students an opportunity to have a look at a video about Pythagoras' theorem and hopefully jog their memories. So I'll put in something like, looks like you need a little help. Watch the video below for a quick refresh. Okay, so on this new page, I'll click on add item, and this time I'm going to add a video. Okay, so I had already looked up this video and I had pasted it to my clipboard, so I just click on that and click on select. So this is not a video I created, this is just one I saw on YouTube and I quite liked. So I click on select. So I'll just call it what it's actually called, which is Pythagoras' theorem in 2 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to create my third page, which is my page for the correct answer. So I need to insert a page break and just put in and here you could add in an image or a video or something to reinforce the correct answer. Now, before I go on, what I want to do is I want to tell it after page 2, I don't want it to automatically go on to page 3, which is what it's going to do. I want it to go back to page 1 to give students a chance to answer the question again. Now that I've got my redirect pages, I scroll up to my original question, click on Edit. I'll click on Go to Page based on answer. So the first 2 were our incorrect answers, so they'll go to page 2. And the third one was correct, so they'll go to the page 3. And click on Done. Now we can have a look at our form, so I'll just click on View Live Form. And here it is. So, Pythagoras' theorem review, looking at the question, and now I'll select this second response, which I know is incorrect, and click on Continue. And it takes me to that video. I can play that video, and then I can try the question again once I click on Continue. And I'll scroll now, and I'll choose the third answer, because that's a correct one. Click on Continue. And it says I've answered correctly. So I just click on Submit. And that's it. Creating branched scenarios and responsive learning using Google Forms.